Alright guys, welcome back to my WWE Friday Night Smackdown review for May 18th, 2012. And I don't know what happened, but for some reason Smackdown was posted really early tonight. I figured I would go ahead and watch it and do my review of it, so we are burning the midnight oil here at Suicide Dive Wrestling. And I just wanted to go ahead and get this up. It's the last show before Over the Limit, which I already did my predictions video on. So I'm going to put this video up early, and then my next video is going to be this afternoon, and it's going to be a review of the new movie Battleship, so we'll see how good that is. But anyways, on to SmackDown. I thought the show was actually good. We had an awesome main event, and it was good for a few reasons. The main event, Damien Sandow and Daniel Bryan. Actually, the Punk-Kane match wasn't too bad either. And Laurinaitis was awesome. So on the whole, I have to say this was a good SmackDown. But it starts off, Laurinaitis comes out looking all depressed. He says the match at Over the Limit isn't fair. He's still in shape and tough, but he still asked the board to reconsider, but they said no. He asked the fans to support him. He says they don't have to cheer him, just say a prayer for him tonight. This was great. He says when you all go home and put your head on your pillows, just say a prayer. And I thought that was awesome. So Punk comes out. He says after Laurinaitis gets fired, everyone's going to be partying. He says that Laurinaitis makes people miserable. He brings up what he did to the Big Show. Punk asks him how it feels to be on the other side, and he says he's not there yet, so he books Punk versus Kane. Punk says he respects Kane, and he says next week he will still be champ and Laurinaitis will be unemployed. He leaves. Then Laurinaitis cuts another awesome promo on the fans, saying that the harder I work, the more you like to crap all over me. He blames the fans for Punk and Cena's actions, and he tells them to go to hell. So yes, this opening segment was great, in my opinion. Then we get Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus Titus O'Neil and Darren Young. Cool spot here. Darren hits a back body drop on Kofi on the ring apron. This is something that happens all the time in Ring of Honor, but it's rare to see in WWE, so I thought it was cool. And Truth beats Darren Young with the Little Jimmy. It was okay, but I think it was way too soon to beat these guys. I mean, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil were just starting to build some momentum, and you go ahead and beat them. Why? I mean, why not just have them do a typical squash match like they have been doing? Just put them out there with the Usos again or something like that, but they had to beat them for some reason. Not a good idea, in my opinion. Backstage we see Zack Ryder filming an episode of his YouTube show, and Damien Sandow walks by just shaking his head at him. This was great. No Ryback tonight, but they did play a Ryback hype video. Damien Sandow comes out to wrestle Yoshitatsu, but he cuts a promo first. He says Yoshi is unworthy, and he refuses to wrestle again. So Yoshi calls him chicken, and he turns around. Sandow attacks him from behind. He slams his head into the turnbuckle. He gives him in a full Nelson and just slams his head into the turnbuckle, attacks him with knees, and then he hits a neck breaker using Yoshi's own arms. So I guess that's going to be his finisher, but I thought he looked pretty good here just from the little bit we got to see. He's wearing pink and purple tights. So yeah, that was the Damien Sandow segment, but I thought he was good tonight. Then we get a Sheamus and Orton promo backstage with Stryker. Both guys are kind of taking jabs, insults at each other, and I thought it was good. I liked this. I thought it really built up a match between these two guys, the two top baby faces, and you just want to see them go at it. And I thought it came off really well. Then we get Zack Ryder versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan beats Ryder with the Yes Lock. I mean, typical. CM Punk versus Kane. Daniel Bryan does commentary. Daniel Bryan puts both himself and Punk over great on commentary here. He talks about how they both struggled in the independents to make it to WWE. They've both risen to the top, both held championships, did a great job on commentary. However, he kept talking about Punk's ribs. There was a spot where Punk hits his ribs into the post, I believe, and he just keeps mentioning it. And a few times is okay, but when he keeps going back to those ribs, you can kind of feel the announcers thinking, okay, you've mentioned it too many times now, but maybe that's just me. Towards the end of the match, Daniel Bryan is about to hit Punk with a chair, but he stops and hits Kane from behind. So Punk loses, and Daniel Bryan takes off. Kane thinks it was Punk who hit him, so he destroys Punk with a chair, hits 2 choke slams on him, and yeah, that was it. The only thing I was thinking is Ryder is definitely losing Sunday at the pre-show. Santino versus Cody Rhodes, champion versus champion. They did a small, little video as Santino was walking to the ring of him making out with the U.S. title. Pretty stupid. Santino wins with the Cobra. I have no idea what Cody Rhodes did. The only thing in my mind is this is another way to get back at Goldust. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, and it is, but that's seriously how they operate. I'm not making that up. They do stuff like that to get back at wrestlers or anyone who pisses them off. Vince McMahon is kind of like Kaiser Soze. He doesn't just hurt you, he'll go after your whole damn family. I mean, he's known for this type of shit. So that wouldn't surprise me. However, it's not like Cody Rhodes was getting a big push before now anyway, so I don't know why they feel the need to bury a guy like Cody Rhodes, especially to Santino, who's never going to rise above being a comedy character. But yeah, this happened. This was the worst part of the show. They recap the Big Show angle, and then we get Randy Orton versus Sheamus. Like I said, this was pretty damn good, even for Orton going out there and hitting his typical moves and doing that lame-ass Viper coiling up shit. But it was still a good match. It got a lot of time. It kind of reminded me of the CM Punk Daniel Bryan matches they were having on SmackDown main events, and they did it on Raw once, where it got a lot of time and was just a great match. That's how this felt to me. Eventually, Sheamus blocks the RKO and wins with a roll-up. Afterwards, they shake hands, and Randy Orton RKOs him. So, I thought it was a good build to the pay-per-view. However, there was absolutely no Jericho or Del Rio. But I'm not going to be picky. I'm not going to complain because I was happy with this show. I was happy with the main event and a lot of the other stuff. So, I thought it was a fine SmackDown. So, that's really it. Over the Limit Sunday. I'll do a review of that, of course. And I will be back this afternoon with my review of Battleship. So I hope you guys like this review. Leave your thoughts on it in the comments below. And that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.